I'm Andy Katz from ESPN, along with my co-host Seth Greenberg. On Courtside with Katz and Coach G, we'll be joined by Arizona head coach Sean Miller and Indiana head coach Tom Crean in advance of the Armed Forces Classic in Honolulu.
Welcome again to Highly Questionable. This man's my father, makes everyone Hispanic, so that makes him Bomani
Jones.
Well, what's on the show today, Jones?
First name Ko, and we have a new player to ask if he's the best player in the NBA, even though we all know it's LeBron James.
Dale, papi.
Is it possible that the running beard has been playing out of position for the last 7 years?
30, 12, and 8 he's averaging. It's early in the season. They beat San Antonio at San Antonio last night. He looks unbelievable so far this season. Keep in mind, D'Antoni said before the season, I expect him to average 15 assists a game. James Harden said, coach is tripping. That was the quote. And now every time you look up, he's got 15 assists a game. D'Antoni does this with point guards. He did it with Steve Nash, made him a 2-time MVP. Shaq only won one of those. He can do it more than anybody with point guards, and he's made this guy a really good point guard.
To be fair, the point guards that he's done it with were point guards that were pretty damn good before he got them also. Like, we've seen James Harden be good as a point guard. It was just in Oklahoma City late in games when they take Russell Westbrook off the ball, and Harden showed that he could initiate the offense. He also showed in college, playing in Herb Sendek's Princeton system, that he had those sorts of skills. This is Mike D'Antoni. The numbers are going to be big, where Harden has to look at people and be like, where have you been? He averaged over 7 assists a game last year. This rap on him for being selfish. He could be ball dominant, but he's always passed. Now he's just being what we've known he was for a while. Really, really good.
He tells the undefeated, though, that he's better than that. Says he's the best player in the game, best point guard in the game, and doesn't care about defense at all. D'Antoni, you'd be showing me something if you can get that guy to play defense.
Like, why would Mike D'Antoni do that? He's never gotten anybody to play any defense.
He doesn't know how to teach that.
You know, Dwight Howard is saying today, why wasn't this guy passing to me if he loves to pass that much? When I was there, I never got a pass from him, you know.
He'd be even more upset if he was there, by the way. James Harden had 15 assists a game. Dwight Howard still about 6 shots.
Should Richard Sherman accept the apologies from Dan Carpenter's wife?
Interesting times for Richard Sherman. He, by the way, got fined $9,000 for trying to take the ball from the holder and hitting kicker Dan Carpenter. You may recall that made Dan Carpenter's wife, Kaela, very upset. She gave us this. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. But, of course, this part is going to shock you. She was just joking. At least that's her story. She says that she was just joking. My attempt at humor during a heated and highly controversial NFL game has not been received the way I intended. When I saw the out-of-control nature of events that happened, I jokingly wanted to relate it to life on the farm where I grew up and how it would have been handled there. If you were dealing with an animal, right, like you call Richard Sherman an animal, I don't really feel like there's an apology for the animal part, and apparently neither does Richard Sherman.
It's not surprising at all. I mean, this is a day and age, you got Ku Klux Klan running around. You know, people say whatever they want, and there's very little consequence. For her to say something like that and then have a BS apology like she did, I mean, it's just a way of the world. You know, I don't let it bother me. It's something I'm very used to, you know. It's just the way people are, the way people were raised.
We've reached a special place in sports programming hell when we're going to the kickers, the Bills kicker's wife, to go get our content. But once you call him a monster and say he should be castrated, that's where we're going to end up. Richard Sherman, the question is, should he accept the apology? That's entirely up to him, and he's not accepting the apology. It's not for me to say.
I'll say it. No, he should not accept the apology. And I think the most disheartening thing about this is him saying he's just kind of used to it. Because being Richard Sherman, you have to get used to people calling you animals and saying you should be castrated.
Did Colin Kaepernick lose credibility by not voting?
I was a little bit surprised that he admitted this, but I probably shouldn't have been given the way that he's been talking. He said that neither one of those candidates represented him and that he was choosing between the lesser of two evils and that was still choosing evil. So he doesn't lose credibility on this front given what his cause is, given that he didn't think that he'd be electing anyone into the White House who would be helping his cause and what it is that he's kneeling for.
Now, there's an interesting range of people who think he's lost credibility, ranging from the President of the United States to the de facto president of this network, Stephen A. Smith. Now, where I disagree with them on this notion is you shouldn't have to do something to earn the right to have people not mess with you. Obama said that you can't complain about injustice if you don't vote, as if you have to opt in to be treated fairly. Sorry, I don't think Kaela Carpenter punching a ballot has to do with whether or not he should feel afraid of getting shot down by the police. That's legitimate no matter what.
Papi?
Nothing to say.
All right, very good. Let's move on.
How should teams navigate White House visits in the Trump presidency?
Oh, yeah, the Cavs will be going to the White House this week, and the Chicago Cubs, World Series champions, apparently they're trying to get that visit pushed up to January, perhaps because Obama is from Chicago, and therefore they want to do the whole Chicago thing, or they just want to get there before the new guy moves in. I don't know how exactly that goes for these teams, but I do think it's fair to wonder, as we go on, how many individual players are going to decide that they're going to go to the White House. Teams are going to be invited. They are going to accept. I don't know what they're going to do after the fact, but I know this. If you do show up, the teams are going to make sure that you act right because you're not going to embarrass them on TV.
But you can't force anybody to show up. I remember calling after the 1997 World Series, Moises Alou. He was real upset because the team got dismantled, and I asked him, are you going to go to the White House? And his response was, I've got better things to do. And at that moment, he was at a Dominican dog track, and that's where he said he would be instead of the White House. All of these guys will choose individually whether they support this president or not. It'd be nice if you supported the office and the country, but if you don't want to meet this president, then you don't want to meet this president, and the team can't force you to meet this president.
Will Pat Riley cave and embrace Dwayne Wade tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Pat Riley doesn't actually have any problem with Dwayne Wade. They offered him 2 years, $40 million. They like Dwayne Wade. They respect Dwayne Wade. They appreciate everything Dwayne Wade did for the franchise. The part that I've enjoyed watching as both sides go into spin control over a breakup is Dwayne Wade continually says he's got no problem with Pat Riley, that he loves Pat Riley, that he understands Pat Riley, while calling Pat Riley different versions of a cutthroat assassin. It's great in terms of passive-aggressive spin control.
Hey, sometimes people love cutthroat assassins. That's just how it works out. But one thing we have to remember here about Pat Riley, he has basically remade his legacy in Miami. If you never knew that he was a coach with the Lakers, he would still have a rock-solid legacy with those 3 championships, all of which came with Dwayne Wade. Now, if Pat Riley could grit his teeth through the video tribute for LeBron on Christmas that time, he'll make it through this one with a guy he actually likes a lot more.
Well, I'm going to be there tonight, right by the Bulls bench. You know, I'm going to be waiting for Jimmy Butler to tell Wade, hey, Wade, get me some water. I'm thirsty.
He's been killing Dwayne Wade, calling him Jimmy Butler's water boy. Look how amused.
That's right. Get me some water, but just make sure that it's cold now, you know?
Sure. Unless they bring the ice cream out in the press room, in which time he will be right there.
That's right.
I've seen that with my own eyes.
Bomani was making so much fun of me yesterday because my entire career has been supported by this guy, and he represents everything I hate in sports fans.
Join me, Linda Cohn, on the SportsCenter podcast with Jeff Saturday and Dan Graziano. Find out who deserves more credit for the Cowboys' success. Is it Dak or is it Zeke? And which team has most to lose in the second half of the season? Click the Listen tab on ESPN.com.
Joining us at the beach today is Tom Arnold.
The comedian. Tom will be performing at Junior's Last Laugh, Erie, Pennsylvania, November 17th through the 19th. Let's talk to him. Tom, what is the period of your life that you would look at and say, that's the most fun I was ever having? Is it now or was it another time?
I would say fun, probably college, and then right after that, when I left college to start stand-up comedy in the 80s in Minneapolis, because I was so crazy and stupid that I thought it was great, everything I was doing, whether I was selling Time Life books or working, for $10 a night doing stand-up comedy. I thought this is the life. It was just fun, and it was at a time where the comedy scene was great in Minneapolis. The music scene was great. Prince. I got to know Prince when he was starting, and got to go play basketball at Paisley Park with Prince. And I worked at First Avenue, and the Replacements and all these different bands would hang out at my place all night, and I did a lot of crazy stuff that I had to quit doing, but it was fun. It was really a fun time, I have to say.
Oh, the only thing I heard was you played basketball at Paisley Park with Prince. Did Prince challenge you to play basketball? Did he invite you to play basketball?
He invited us out, and I played several times with him, and he was very good. As you know, he was a very good athlete, and much better than me. But for a celebrity, I'm actually kind of a good athlete. Like I've won, like Rock and Jock, when they used to have that, I won MVP every time I played it. So for an average person, I'm a terrible athlete. But for a celebrity, I'm good. So, we go out there and play. That's not what he
wants to ask you about, right?
I'm actually kind of curious about that, too, because, did Prince have to get on you for being in the wrong places? I'm trying to imagine you as basketball player and Prince as basketball player at the same time.
Well, he's He's much faster. I get down there in the post, and you can't get around me. And he also had a lot of big guys with him. I have to say, it wasn't just him and athletes. And he was athletic, like he's an athlete, but he brought his guys with him too. And they weren't necessarily athletic, but they would kill you probably. But they weren't necessarily what you say is basketball athletic. They weren't straight up and down. So, back then I was pretty big too. I'm 6'2". Back then I was probably 280. So I was about, even with his guys. So there was a lot of pushing down low, and then Prince would, do his thing, and he was actually really talented.
Have you ever turned down a role? Because I saw that you were in Soul Play and a Medea movie.
That I was. And I'll tell you what, yesterday when I was going to the Atlanta airport, it pays off because they let me right through. Soul Play was funny because, a lot of funny people in that. And I've been in a lot of black movies, so that's a great thing. And Snoop Dogg, it's funny with Soul Play, it's a terribly offensive movie, but it would have been a hit, except someone stole the master, and 300,000 copies were released before the movie was released. So it was the most pirated movie of all time. And so I remember I had my old sports show, Snoop Dogg came on there to promote Soul Play, and I looked over and he had a stack of DVDs this tall. I go, dude, where'd you get those? Did the studio give you those? And he's like, no, I bought them at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles outside there for $1 a piece. I go, dude, those are pirated DVDs of our movie. That's why it failed. He's like, I know, but they're only $1. I was like, can I have a couple? He's like, yeah. So that's why things fail. But I had a lot of fun working on those. And then with Tyler Perry, I thought, I want to see what he's like. I want to see what makes him tick. And I want to see if there's a moment. It was a very small part, but I got to see him get mad and come down 14 flights of stairs dressed as Medea and yell at the way the guy set up the track on the sidewalk with his full...
Wait. So he does like full executive stuff while in the Medea get-up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I am curious to know what it's like to be like the white dude on the set on Soul Plane. Like, it's not like being the white dude on the Cosby Show. Like, that's a different set of characters.
Yeah, that's a really good example. Yeah, it was. I've been the white dude on a lot of sets, and it was fun. And I will say this: that was, you know how some sets they have fake stuff they smoke. Soul Plane wasn't fake. I'm going to just be honest with you. And they had a shelled out airplane, and it was so smoky in there. And I'm a sober guy, so. But I've been on Willie Nelson's bus too, and I think I think you get a pass for things like that. I think that there's certain things that are just so cool that you just stand there.
Yeah, what's there for the sober guy to do on Willie Nelson's bus? Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of activity for you if you're the sober guy on Willie's bus.
Right. You just stand in the back and just whatever happens, happens. You don't run away, that's for sure. Because this is a moment. It's important. It's like the first, when I got out of rehab the first time, we took the Concorde to Europe. It was that plane they used to have. And I remember they had these cakes, and they had this syrup on them. And I ate one. And I go, I got to have another one of those. And then ended up having 7 of them. And then as I was walking back to the restroom, I saw how they were making them. They were pouring pure rum on top of them. I was like, oh, that's why I liked them so much, because they're rum cakes with pure rum. And I've been drinking the alcohol. And I quit. So it doesn't count as a slip because I didn't know it was pure rum. But there was a reason I was digging them because it was my thing,
Tom, my father wants a crack at you. Go ahead, Papi.
Yes, Tom, I heard that you get free Arby for life for voicing the oven meat.
Really?
Now, how did you get that, and what is your favorite thing to eat at Arby's?
Wow, really?
Number one of the best jobs I ever had, the best job I ever had, voice of the Arby's oven mitt, because it paid well. But mostly because I get free Arby's for life, so no matter what happens in my life, I can feed my wife and kids. When I like to go down there, if I'm not eating bread, you could just get a whole bunch of meats. Because they do. It is toast. It's not fried meat. It's a sliced meat. So it's not bad for you. It's good. I highly recommend Arby's meat. And then it puts some hot cheese on it. It's fed a lot of, let's put it this way. Arby's over the years has fed a lot of people at my house that it was their only meal they were getting that day. They were young alcoholics, and so I'm very grateful to Arby's for doing that. And it's my backup plan.
I love Arby. Can you hook me up?
No, come on, man. Let's
go.
I
can
hook you up.
Go.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Dad, quit panhandling.
The biggest winner in this interview is Arby's.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Andy Katz from ESPN, along with my co-host Seth Greenberg. On Courtside with Katz and Coach G, we'll be joined by Arizona head coach Sean Miller and Indiana head coach Tom Crean in advance of the Armed Forces Classic in Honolulu.
Time to play the game that is feeling marginally better today. Do you question?
Give us topics and events, and we question.
Do you question if Conor McGregor is a bowler?
The creatively named UFC 205 is coming up. Conor McGregor will be fighting at UFC 205, and here is his open practice at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, is he going to be awkward and terrible at this?
Isn't he like 5'7"?
Oh, no. This is going to be, yeah.
Oh!
I always get disappointed seeing great athletes try other sports and not look like athletes.
By the way, whole another world where you just walk around in your boxer brief drawers and it's just no big deal.
That whole outfit, the ensemble, in what world is that normal? The sneakers, all of it. What is that?
In what world do you call that an ensemble?
You know, Phil Jackson stumble into the court and say, when did we sign that guy? Yeah, I don't recognize him very well, you know?
Stumbles in with a tan and the pina colada he got in St. Martin where he's been the last 6 months.
Do you question if Brandon Jennings has the right attitude?
He's been swaggering all preseason. He was swaggering and he was gesticulating. Did I say that right? Gesticulating. Here we go. Out to Madison Square Garden last night. They're winning by Knicks are winning by 19.
He is tough and he can play with other people at the offensive end. He can pass it.
We'll do that round here.
What happened? I missed it.
Instead of helping the guy off the ground, he stopped his teammate from helping the guy off the ground. Here we go. I got you. No. We don't do that here.
Yeah. Pat
Number
Riley,
14.
Yeah, Pat Riley used to fine people for that. Fine his players for helping someone else up off the ground.
Also, if we could play the end of that play again one more time. The Knicks have 5 guys on the floor. One is Brandon Jennings, and the only other one I recognize is Sasha Vujacic. What bizarre world is this that we're in the NBA? There's a dude wearing 91?
That's up 19 with 30 seconds left. Phil Jackson doesn't know 4 of the guys on the court there.
Time to play the game that just wrapped up a couple of hours in the gym and is feeling pretty jacked. See? Oh, no.
Tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued or not.
On the Golf Channel, the Nedbank Golf Challenge.
Okay. Why would I be interested in this? I'm told there was a disturbance. I'm interested in disturbances on a golf channel. What do we got? Oh! What are those things? What mongoose?
Would it be mongoose?
What is the plural for mongoose?
Is that a mongoose? I'm only familiar with them in theory. It's like Ricky Tikki Tavi, right?
Mongooses. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I'm honestly surprised somebody didn't take one of those out and bring it home for dinner. Like when you start seeing vermin scurrying around, normally there's somebody who's like, ooh, food.
That's a lot of them being chased there. Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, that is nothing. You want to see some animals on a golf course? Check this out.
Let's see.
That's right. There you have it.
Oh, look at this. What do we have? Like a montage of animals?
There
nice.
we go.
Look at this. This is delightful. Is that a fox of some sort?
Fox looks like in real life.
Well, and here's the deer coming out
Yeah.
where the bear just went.
Wait a minute. Are we going to end this with Bob Barker fighting an alligator by the by the golf course? And here's the fun part.
There had to be a bet involved, right?
There it is! Here we go, Bob Barker! Yeah, okay, that seems...
That's the equivalent of being all 85 cents and spinning the wheel again because you just got greedy.
That seems imprudent.
On MTV.com, True Life, I Need Danger Sex.
I'm sorry, what?
I need dangerous sex.
Okay,
Danger.
thank you for repeating that. I was asking
I
him,
don't
but
know
my
why
father...
I need dangerous sex. Is that what it is?
Okay, my father's doing it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, babe.
Today, Malcolm and I are going to find a location for our dangerous sex scene.
You ready?
I'm ready. Always ready.
God.
I'm hoping to look for 3 main elements, which is height, danger, and risk.
Okay. I'm pretty sure there's a way to get up there.
All right.
And then there's a few other ones, like there's the one up there.
That's good. Oh.
That's awesome. This ledge right here. We could just climb over and, like, have sex here.
Yeah, I'm good.
So let's head back down and we'll figure it out.
The location that we found is 15 stories high up. and considered very dangerous. When we were up there looking over the ledge, I definitely got a quick rush of adrenaline thinking about that I'm going to be over that ledge. Like one wrong move and we could fall.
I feel like you guys just asked us, do you guys want to watch porn? Bomani, are you intrigued?
When did the balcony stop being good enough? Like, that's just what I'm curious about it. Like, when did the balcony stop being good enough? This is pretty good.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? If I were in that guy's position, I couldn't get anything going, you know? I got some vertigo, you know, I won't be able to get, that's right. I get vertigo, so, you know, I mean, I got to find out how the guys do it, you know, I get 15th floor, you know.
He's got vertigo.
Be nice, man, he's my dad.
Yeah, vertigo.
Where's the most dangerous place, Papi, that you've ever had sex?
Right there in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Right there.
I knew it.
That's right.
Look at it. That's
in
why
the deep part of that swimming pool. Because I don't swim very well.
That's why they're draining it right now. My father, what he did in there.
With your mom.
Oh, you don't know that. You don't know that.
Don't tell your dad.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Ole Miss heads to College Station Saturday night to face Texas A&M.
Stiff arm, down he goes. Down he goes.
Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.